Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're finally going to be making a new custom splitter for the 370Z. If you guys saw my previous video, we just installed a Weber bumper and now we're going to make a custom splitter. I made them out of a bunch of different material. I think I've done plywood, an ABS plastic, polycarbonate, and then I believe I did fiberglass as well. And the ones that have lasted the most is going to be the plywood, and then also the polycarbonate did last a while as well. I actually have extra material that I have left over from the previous one that I did, so that's what we're going to be using. It's going to be pretty similar to the previous splitter that I had. It's going to be like the same exact thing, maybe just a little bit shorter because I feel like the previous one was a little too long, so I kept breaking. But other than that, I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing just in case you guys want to do this in the future and it helps you guys out. Alright, so here's the 370Z. I'm going to take her out right now just because I need a little bit of space to be able to make the splitter. The splitter is pretty big. So here is old splitter that broke. And then here's like the mock-up right there of the previous one that I made. Everything should be pretty straightforward. Using this as a template, making the new splitter. I just need this other side to make sure that it's even. But this is the material that we're going to be using. It's really thick and strong. Here I'll have all my hardware that I'm going to be using. So I have these custom brackets that my homie Nito helped me make. So it's chassis mounted, so it has a lot of support. Let me go ahead and take the 370Z out. And then I'll do like a little cold start. And then I'll show you guys how it's going to be looking. Here's the bumper, just in case you guys haven't seen it. I'm going to get the splitter done right now. That way I can mock it up. And then once it's ready for paint, I don't have to worry about drilling into the bumper once it's painted. Alright guys, so here's the polycarbonate sheet right here on the floor. And then I lined up my bumper just to kind of show you guys what it is that you have to do if you want to start this from scratch. When you have your sheet on the floor, you want to go ahead and place your bumper on top of the sheet. And then you want to go ahead and measure depending on how long you want it. So I've seen about 4 inches be used the most from the bumper outside using a ruler. And then kind of make your line to see how far you want it out. There's kind of an idea of how you would do it. So just measure 4 inches out. Make your line going all the way around to be able to make your splitter. And you can make it however you want. It doesn't need to be the way that I did it. I usually do like a full curve. I'm actually going to be using some tape to outline this right here. I was going to use like a marker, but then I would have to clean it up. Then put the polycarbonate over it and then cut it out with a Dremel. As you can see, this splitter is like really large. And that's because I added some excess pieces to make a winglet like this right here. So all I did is I grabbed like a metal piece, put it on there. I would heat up the material and then I would bend it with the metal piece in order to make this fin. This stuff is really strong, so it did take me a long time, but I'm going to be doing that with this splitter as well, so you guys will see the process on how I actually bend the material. Alright guys, so here we have the bumper on top of the splitter. I'm going to go ahead and measure it out to make sure everything's even. Make sure the sides are even as well. That way it's like right on the middle. At the front of the splitter, we want to go ahead and make sure that it's flat. So if you guys saw the previous clip, the previous splitter that we had created kind of overlapped on top of our new splitter. So it does have that indent from the previous splitter. But we just need to flatten it out. Which is actually good because I feel like it's a little bit too long in the front. So flattening it out is going to make it a lot straighter. Everything else looks really good right here on the sides, on that side as well. And then right here, we got to measure it out so we can see where we want to fold the polycarbonate. On the back, I do want to cut out a little bit more on the wheel wells right here. So I do want to make like a little indent right there. and another one right there. There's not too much that needs to be done except cutting out the holes. Once we have that done, then we can go ahead and start mounting it and painting the splitter. All right, guys, there you go. There's a splitter now somewhat installed. We're kind of testing it right now to see where we want it. It's going to be mounted to the chassis brackets that I made, and then it's going to mount to the bumper. So I need to make sure it's lining up perfectly with these brackets right here. That way, if I ever need to take it off, I literally just take off the brackets and the whole splitter will come off. It doesn't have to mount to the bumper, but it can if it wants to add like a little bit more support. It's pretty even right now. I did check it. You can kind of see like with that line right there with the wheel. And then over here, same thing. It's lining up pretty good. All I gotta do is grab a marker, kind of trace it out. Same thing right here. And then right there on the back ones. And then I got those middle ones right there. And then once that's done, then we just got to paint the splitter and it should be good to go. All right, guys, so here we are working on the splitter. I'm test fitting it to see if it's sitting good. Still need to lift it quite a bit because there's a huge gap at the bottom. But that's not going to be really an issue. I just got to make a few adjustments to the bumper. I did cut off a little bit already. These studs at the bottom, which are those right there, they're kind of hitting the bumper like right here. So I need to cut the bumper a little bit more. Right there, it's hitting it. So it's not gonna go any farther than that. So once I cut that piece, it'll sit pretty flush. And then I just gotta tighten everything up. Same thing with that side. It is hitting a little bit, so I need to cut it. That's how it looks without the bumper. It's still a little flimsy on the sides, but we're gonna go ahead and reinforce it with some brackets and then attach it to the bumper as well. I still feel like I need to cut a little bit right there. That way it doesn't hit the tire. Here are the brackets. You guys can kind of see it's like back here, attaching to these 4 holes, or these 4 bolts. And then it goes all the way down and attaches to the bracket right there. Marked where I'm going to be making my holes. I just put the bumper on top, used a marker to go ahead and kind of outline them, and then I drilled out the holes in the back as you guys saw in the previous clip. So you can see all those holes right there. That's where we're going to be mounting it to. I did purchase a few things from Home Depot, some bolts, locking nuts, and washers. So we have these right here, AFE. Washers are AAA, and then the locking nuts, these right here. These are the locking nuts. That's enough. So we're gonna go ahead and start putting this on the car right now. The splitter is officially done. The last thing that we need to put on is this thing right here. I ordered this from Amazon. It's like a guard type of attachment that you can put on any like edge. So it makes it look a lot cleaner, a lot nicer. I'll show you guys right now what it looks like without it and then with it on it, in case you guys want to purchase it or not. I think it makes a huge difference. So here's a completed splitter right here. It's on there really good. It's holding up. I still need my splitter rods in the middle to reinforce the front, but I did attach some bolts at the bottom, like right in the middle. Those 3 right there to reinforce it right in the middle because it does have that gap. And on the side, this is mounted up properly on all the ends. So I don't really have any issues with it flexing down, but we're gonna add this on there right now to make it look a little bit better. I will need to repaint the splitter because I did get a little bit scratched up right there. All I used was a spray paint can, so I'll be doing that again once I remove the bumper to get it painted. But let me go ahead and throw this on there. Alright guys, so I came back to the same spot that I've been coming to for a while now, in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of wind noise. Let's go ahead and talk about the bumper and the new splitter. So far, it's been on the car for about 2 days, and honestly, I'm in love with it. This thing looks so sick and aggressive. It's not even 100% complete yet. It's gonna look even more aggressive. I still need to add the fins that go right there. There's a total of 3 on each side. I still need to add the splitter rods, and then we need to paint it. So there's gonna be videos on that. I think I'm gonna make 3 separate ones on each thing, so that way I have some content for you guys. But it's gonna look really sick once it's all done. At this point, the wind noise got really bad, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a voiceover of the entire thing. Here you can see the Mishimoto oil cooler. It does stand out a lot, along with the bumper and the splitter, making it look really even and just putting it together. I've had the Nismo V1 bumper for such a long time that I've always wanted to change it out, and I honestly could not go wrong with this bumper. It just looks so aggressive and just gives it a totally different look to how it usually looked like before. Now let me give you a close-up of the splitter. The splitter does look really clean now adding the trim on there. I'll go ahead and leave it down in the description below. It does add a huge difference to the splitter, making it look a lot cleaner. So if I were you guys, I would highly recommend getting it. It doesn't come off or anything. It has like some metal pieces on there that kind of clamps on there, so you won't have any issues with it coming off. But here on the side, you can see that the splitter is kind of sitting at an angle, which I do kind of want to fix. If you guys watched the previous video that I made on installing the Weber bumper, I did mention that it does sit kind of high, which is good and bad. The good thing is that I don't really hit my splitter at all when going over speed bumps. As where before on my Nismo bumper, I was always hitting something. Right here you can see that the bumper is about 2 inches off the ground. We are at an unlevel surface, so that does kind of play a part in it, but it's usually about like an inch off the ground. We're on the normal streets. Let me give you guys a walk around of the car I was looking at the moment. There's a few like defects here and there when it comes to like the wide body that I want to go ahead and get fixed, but other than that, everything's good. I do need to fix the diffuser as well. It does have a crack on it, so I do want to make a video on that as well. But overall, the car's been running great for the 4 years that I've had it. I think if you guys purchase this car, I think you guys will love it as well. It's such a great eye catcher, and it's honestly one of the best purchases that I made. Alrighty guys, so we're gonna go ahead and end the video right there. Yes, I know your boy looks crazy. I have not gotten a haircut and I'm way overdue, but the bumper and the splitter are looking really good. Looks really aggressive. I'm happy with the result. We still need to go ahead and do the fins, the splitter rods, and also paint the bumper. Once that's all done, we're gonna add the wing, and then I want to make like a full modelist video again on the car and a few other videos that I've been planning to do to this car once it's all done. So that's pretty much going to conclude it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.